Scraping the data from web pages is one thing, but more often than not, there are a few challenges for dealing with the scraped data that is typically not in a clean format. Let's take a look at how quickly you can scrape the table data in web pages in Exploratory and how you can work with typical data wrangling challenges with this type of data. Here is a unicorn valuation data. Unicorns are the private startup companies valued at $1 billion or more. You can find not only the valuation amounts from this table, but also who invested, where they are coming from, and when they became unicorns. We can quickly scrape this data with Exploratory. Select Import Remote Data from the Data Frame menu and select Scrape Web Page menu. We can copy and paste the URL for the page we want to scrape and hit Get Data button. The data looks coming through OK. We can type the data frame name to store this data and hit Save button. We can quickly see the summary data at a glance. There are a few challenges though with this type of web scrape data. First, there are random empty rows. We can see 8 of those. By looking at the original web page, we can safely remove those rows. We can apply a filter and check NA, but we can instead use this remote empty rows command, which removes those rows whose columns are all NA or empty. The second challenge is, more often than not, the data comes through as characters instead of numeric or date or time because of various reasons. For example, this variation bracket $B bracket column should be numeric, but because of the dollar sign as character, the column is now registered as character, which means we can't even do a simple calculation like sum or average on top of this data as it is now. But we can quickly convert this by extracting only the numeric part of the data. Select Convert to Number from the column header menu. This will automatically create the mutate step with extract underscore numeric function. Once we hit Run button, we can see the column has just been converted and it's showing histogram indicating the range of the variation amounts. Another challenge is, take a look at this date joined column. This should be date, but it's registered as character. Again, we can quickly convert this property to date data type by selecting Convert to Date Time and selecting one of the date component order options that matches with the data. In this case, that is month, day, year. This will automatically create a mutate step with MDY function. By the way, if you're interested in what other functions are available, you can click Function List button and see a wide range of the other functions available out of the box. Anyway, once we hit Run button, we can see the column is not only registered as a date, but also it's showing histogram indicating the time period. With this information, we can quickly visualize the data. For example, by assigning this newly converted date column to x-axis, we can change the date aggregation level. We can assign country to color and compare number of unicorns by country. And by selecting cumulative sum option from the window calculation setting menu, we can see how each country is stacking up the unicorns over the years. Now let's go back to table view. And here's the last challenge I wanted to talk about for the web scrape data. More often than not, the scraped data include escaping characters like these \n for new line or \t for tab. Or it also includes unnecessary spaces like 2 or 3 extra spaces between the words. These are to make the web page layout look nicer, but from the data analysis point of view, they're just annoying garbage. Well, we can quickly get rid of this garbage by using str_clean function. We can click on plus button to add another operation in the same muted step and select the column that we want to override. Then you can find str_clean function and the text category in function list. And double click on the function name, and then we can select the column to clean from the list. Once we hit the run button, we can see those garbages are gone for company column. We want to do the same for the select investor column as well, but this time, now that we know which function to use, we can start typing the function name and select the one we want and hit run button. Now another thing we can do here is to get the column names cleaned up. Meaning, as you see here, there are some columns that have spaces and special characters like brackets and currency symbols. To make it simple, we can use clean column names operation to clean up the column names and make them all lowercase letters with underscore instead of spaces. Now, when you look at select_investor column, you would notice that there are multiple venture capital firms for each company. In order to answer a question that sounds super simple, for example, what are the top venture firms who have invested the most unicorns? We want to break down these multiple entries and put each entry into each row. For this, we can select separate_2_rows operation from the column header menu. This will create separate_rows command step. And we can enter the separating character, in this case that is a comma and a space. Now, as you see, depends how many investor names for each company, the company rows are repeated. For example, Uber has 3 rows for 3 venture firms. From here, we can assign date_joined column to x-axis and select cumulative sum window calculation from the menu. By assigning investor name to color, we can see how each investor is stacking up the unicorns over the years.